Hi, and welcome to week 6, Holiness. Be holy, for I am holy. So this week, I have 4 goals. I want to evaluate the purpose and content of ritual and offerings. And then, which is something, by the way, most classes never do. But I believe that being able to understand the rituals in the Old Testament helps us to understand atonement in the New Testament. Then to interpret the theological role of offerings in the context of the New Testament, that idea of atonement, to evaluate the meaning of holiness and the concept of holiness as a major theme in Leviticus, and then finally to apply the meaning of holiness in a ministry setting. So we have a ritual chart in assignment 6.1. So it was a paper, and based upon your reading in Leviticus 1-7 and Alexander, I want you to complete the chart that we've provided. But while you can complete the chart in just a few words, to understand the assignment and for an A on the assignment, I am looking for incredible depth. It is something that's going to take some time, and I want you to really pay attention to detail, and I want you to outline the 5 major types of offering. For each type of offering, specify the ritual components in detail and the purpose of these ritual components. If it says the left thigh is offered, I want you to say the left thigh is offered. So I'm looking for detail out of your reading and out of your research, but mostly out of the reading in the Bible. I want an in-depth into the components. Then I want you to discuss why these offerings are no longer required for Christians on each one of the offering types. So you're going to have columns where you have a type, and then you have your evidence of that type, and then you have your discussion of that type of offering. And just to keep in mind, I say then discuss why these offerings are no longer required for Christians. One of them is required for Christians. So take the time to look at what is required and what is not, and why it is not if it's no longer required. Be sure to include a conclusion, pulling all of your thoughts in the assignment together. So while this is a chart, it really is a very in-depth chart that makes it a paper in my mind, with a chart in the middle. So I'm looking for lots of information. I'm looking for good engagement with Leviticus 1-7, great engagement with Alexander, and even the use of outside research on ritual and how it applies to Christians today. Our second is a discussion post. In Leviticus 19, verse 2, God states that the Israelites should be holy because I, the Lord your God, am holy. And I want you to create a 1-page post of what you believe God means by this statement. A thorough post will include a word study on holy following the Logos methodology. And by this, I mean that we need to know more than just Leviticus 19:2, but when God says be holy, what does that word mean? Holiness is something we throw around all the time, kind of like blessing, and it's a word that is packed with theological nuances. So for us to be able to understand God's use of that term in Leviticus, we need to understand God's inspiration of that term throughout the entire Bible. So what does it mean to be holy? How do we become or stay holy? And the implications for living a holy life in our modern context. So while this is a 1-page post, it has to be packed with your research, and that's one of the reasons why we only have 2 assignments this week. Is one of your assignments that's not listed is a full research project on what it means to be holy, and then you're writing your summary of that, including evidence, into your post. The first post, as always, is due on Friday at midnight, with ongoing engagement in discussion over the weekend, concluding Monday. at midnight. So a packed week, even though we have only two assignments, there's a lot of work to be able to get the two assignments done well. Email me with any questions, call me as needed, and I look forward to seeing what you folks come up with this week. Thanks.